You come in here maybe, not happy with the Carolina game, but you have a good practice, a little bit of sunshine, just kind of clear the air. Do you feel like you're set to go here for this afternoon game?
Yeah, I think it's an important game for our team. We feel good about where we're at. There's things to learn and get better at every day. We did that yesterday, and we're going to have a real good team that poses a very stiff challenge for us, but I think we're ready for it.
Expect to see Clem Koska make his Oilers debut today?
Yeah, Clem will be in the lineup tonight.
What do you expect to see from
Well,
him
I know that Clem was a first-round draft pick. You don't get drafted in the first round if you don't have a certain level of ability and talent and potential. He's a big man, skates well, he has good skills. I think for him, what we're looking for is just to play kind of a straightforward, simple, direct type of hockey game. We've encouraged him to be himself and show what he can do. That's about it.
He's got a lot of, being a first-rounder, a lot of offensive kind of upside and stuff. It seemed like based on yesterday starting on the third line, but can you foresee him kind of moving up?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what we have here. But for me, I think if you look at where he's played at the NHL level, he's had his most success in playing a good 200-foot game and checking and being physical when the time presented itself. We're not asking him to be anything he's not. We want him to show what he can do and play, as I said, a simple, straightforward, and direct game.
I realize the focus is on your team, but they do have a degree of physicality in their lineup. Obviously, you know about Matthew Tkachuk, but Lomberg and Bennett as well. They're in your face a bit. Do they pose a different matchup maybe than Carolina, who plays a hard and high press against you all game long?
Well, the good news is all three of those players are former Calgary Flames, right? So we should have an idea of the way they play the game. They're all good players, but you're right. They crash the crease where our net play is going to have to be at a certain level. Our defending has to be at a certain level. And, if we're playing the game that we want to play, we shouldn't be spending as much time in our end anyways. We want to play a game with a certain measure of pace, spend our shifts in the other team's end, and making sure that we're relentless on our way back to our own end.
When it comes to Dylan Holloway, he's doing a lot of good things, and then obviously young guy makes a few mistakes here and there. But how have you seen his progression, and how do you kind of keep him saying you're going in the right direction?
Well, I thought there was a lot of bright spots to his game in Carolina. Now that said, you're going to go to the turnover. There's a learning curve for younger players in the National Hockey League. But, what I like about Dylan is that he's coachable. He takes in information. He comes to the rink with an enthusiasm about him. He's learned some tough lessons on some turnovers this year. They just ended up in the back of the net. That's the way it goes. This is the NHL. And the one thing he is learning is how, through the neutral zone, hard plays need to be made. And when you simplify things in that area, I think the game slows down for you a little bit. So ensuring that pucks get behind defensemen, ensuring that you're making defensemen turn and go back and solve problems, I think that's a starting point for him. But he's a good person and, as I said, a very coachable kid. And he's getting better every day.
Well, as Zach said, he's not the only guy making turnovers, but they seem to end up in the back of the net, so they're magnified, I guess. But you guys got to be.
The other thing I'd say about that is, on some of those turnovers, what we think we can do a better job is sometimes those things happen, but it's about how you react off of the turnover. And I think there's things we can do where we better protect against severe chances against or the ones that end up in the back of your net. And that's on everybody else on the ice surface to make sure that mistakes happen, but how are we helping when those mistakes happen?
Now, 4:00 start, that's a little rare, I guess. How does the preparations, I know these guys are creatures of habits, right? How do the preparations change, or how do you guys help them be ready when the puck
Well, we had our pregame skate yesterday, so that's the first thing. We had some meetings yesterday so that we don't pile on too much information here today. So we knocked a few off yesterday. And, we have enough veteran players here to make sure that they're going to be ready, not only in their off-ice warm-up, but in their on-ice warm-up. 2 points are on the table against a good team. We're going to have a great effort tonight.
Can you say who comes out for Koskinen to be able to go in?
Sure. Murray.
Okay. And Skinner in net?
Skinner is in net tonight. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.